Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Cologne podcast. I'm Mike.
And I'm Ryan. And we're just two best friends going on a fragrance journey and giving our uneducated opinion
on the world of fragrances.
Yeah, on the world of fragrances.
And today in our journey, we're going to be taking a look at Parfums De Marly's Carlisle. Oh, man. We've actually had a few people write in and tell us to try this one after hearing certain loves of ours of different fragrances. This one's compared to a couple different ones. So I think we're going to be excited. A spoiler alert, I've already tried this. I've worn it a few times, but Ryan hasn't.
I have not worn this, smelt it, dealt it, anything.
This is actually part of a sample set that I bought that's 10 mil samples of a few different ones.
So this is straight from Parfums De Marly then?
Yes.
It's a pretty good looking little glass there. I like that.
Yeah. I don't think it's the tempered glass that they use in the bottles that you can keep in your Ferrari, but...
Is it Ferrari or Porsche?
Lamborghini? I don't know.
Who knows?
They're all way above my budget anyways. We'll talk about that. Let me give you a review from Fragrantica, Ryan.
Yes.
From Candace Carr.
Okay. This sounds like a cool name. I like this one.
Yeah. Candace says, wow, I'm overwhelmed by a bitter, pissy note. Is that the Gaiac? I'd love to know so I can avoid it at all costs for the rest of my life.
You know, I've noticed that when people talk about BO or pissy notes, it generally seems to be something that I like because it's got a little stank on it. Mm-hmm. A little power move, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're like forcing people to smell it.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, you going to get that, Chief?
Yeah, it's that pissy note to match your pissy mood, Ryan. Okay, we're going to check that out. But first, we need to get into our one-night stand review of Hindu Kush by Mancera. Boy, you can tell we've been out of the game. Christ. All right, hit the music, Todd.
Yeah. One-night stand review.
Well, Mike, after staying the night in Paris and visiting the warehouse that is Mancera and wearing their Hindu Kush, getting freshly inked, which you're about to do here in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about Hindu Kush? Be real.
It wasn't my jam.
Okay, that's fine.
It got better.
Yeah.
I didn't care for it too much all the way through, but I feel like that banana up top kind of chilled out after a while. And I do really love a good clovey scent. And this does kind of have that clove vibe that was really popping out. So it was nice. It's nothing too crazy. I'm not going to throw a party and make all my friends wear it. It's just okay.
On the other hand, I really do like it. I enjoyed it pretty much all the way through. It's kind of masculine. It's got some big meaty clackers to parts of it. And honestly, it does remind me of like getting a tattoo. So it's like there's a lot of it going on that I really love. So I'm still saying I'm going to get a decant of it.
Well, don't worry about spending your money, Ryan. You've got 9 mil sitting on the table.
No. You made such a big deal about me having to spend my own money about it on the last
Yes.
one. I've got to spend my own money.
Look, and if he doesn't...
I'm just saying this for the episode. I'm taking the fucking decant.
Okay, I was about to say, I want proof, Ryan. From now on, if you think it's a sample, you better go fucking buy it. I better see your receipts, dog.
All right, so it's still a sample for me.
It's a skip for me.
Man, that's so wild. But okay, there you go.
There's a caveat, just like with the episode I did say. I feel like if you're early on in the game, you haven't smelled too many wild things.
Yeah.
This is kind of a fun one, and it's a cheap one to try out. You know, sometimes you'll buy a 5-10 mil decant of something, and it can be wildly expensive, more of the exotic stuff. But this one kind of has that vibe, and it's still pretty damn cheap. So it's an option for those that are really just starting to get your feet wet.
Yeah. So there you go. There's our one-night stand review of Mancera's Hindu Kush. Now, let's get into Parfums De Marly's
Carlisle.
Carlisle.
Why don't you go ahead? I think this is going to wake us up.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. My coffee didn't do enough for me? Okay, let's see.
I don't drink coffee anymore.
That's sad.
Once we ran out of our Kojo roastery, it just hadn't been the same for me.
I guess I should have asked, can I go ham on this?
For sure. That's the name of the game, dog.
Why do I feel like I've smelled something similar to this?
Because you have smelled a fragrance that's often compared to this.
Huh. Let me see if I can guess it.
Okay.
Is it designer?
No.
But I've smelled it. For sure, I've smelled it. Mm-hmm. Huh. Why you... He's got this cheeky ass smile and laugh. What the hell? Is this a trick? Is it like...
No, it's not a trick.
Would you swap it out? It's actually like supposed to be like horse piss or something? Like, and I'm like, oh,
yeah, look, if horse piss smelled this good, I'd be on it.
There's a little bit of red tobacco to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm laughing about.
Not as nasty, though.
Yeah, exactly. This one's compared to red tobacco a lot.
Wow. I can see why you would probably like this over the red tobacco. It is definitely not as harsh.
It does still, red tobacco does, I can smell the opening of red tobacco a little bit in this.
Yeah.
But it's not as like overwhelmingly terrible.
No, I see where you're going with it.
In this one, there is more of a dry tobacco opening that I can kind of get, or it at least kind of reminds me of dry tobacco. On the red tobacco opening, I think you hit it on the head when you were like, it smells like multivitamins. It's just like that real tart sort of clacker smell. But on this is a little bit more palatable.
Yeah, and it's definitely masculine as fuck. I like this a lot.
I knew you would.
I really do. But I do kind of have a question, though. And you'll know this. Most people that are probably listening won't. This is what I kind of ran into. This is what started the downhill spiral of everything with the podcast.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
But like when I'm smelling this and we're able to really make this comparison to red tobacco, like out the gate, does it make you wonder, are we pixel peeping here? Is that what we're doing?
Okay, so you're going to have to define pixel peeping for people.
So I think you're better at this. You do it because I know you'll be able to break that down. You're good at teaching.
Okay. Well, so basically he's talking about in our industry of photo and video, a lot of the times people will compare, like, let's say cameras.
Yeah.
And from a distance or even at a printable size image, there isn't much defining the two as being different.
Yeah.
And so in order to look for something so different to say this one's better than this one, they have to zoom way into the pixel level to compare rather than just going, oh, these are pretty much similar and this one's cheaper than this one, so this would be a better buy. But people who've already spent the extra money will go, no. If you zoom way in, you'll find that this has extra pixels in there. It's like one time I used to work in radio a long time ago, and one of the sponsors was a frozen yogurt place.
Yeah.
And one of their claims was, and they were buying ads on this radio station. One of their claims was, our yogurt has less air in it.
I don't know. I can figure that out.
Yeah. No. Our machines, the way they whip it out, our yogurt has less air in it. And they go, and remember, you're paying by the ounce. So less air, you're paying less. These other guys, all theirs has more air. And I was like, well, isn't air like negligible as far as weight goes? You should still be paying the same amount, right?
Yeah.
And that was kind of the thing that really made me go, people are just looking for a reason to go, oh, ours is better.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this does smell good. And I think that's what I'm starting to see a lot is like, am I pixel peeping this shit to where it's like, they all kind of smell a little bit similar. Like there's a similarity between this, red tobacco, and honestly, even though it's a lot smoother and softer and a little bit sweeter, but Argos.
Yeah, well, that's one thing I will say is Argos is quite a bit different to me than this and red tobacco. And they compare the three a lot together. But to me, Triumph of Bacchus, it has less tobacco, more boozy wine, that sort of vibe, so I do see a similarity because there is this dark sweetness to it, but I wouldn't go, oh yeah, Carlisle and Triumph of Bacchus are so damn close.
I think Carlisle and red tobacco are much closer together.
Absolutely. I agree.
Man, that's going to form my opinion pretty strongly towards the end. I'm sure most people can kind of see where that's going. But this does smell badass. I can see where this is a win for somebody like you because it doesn't have that nasty stank on the top.
Well, and I think that comes along with you're looking at $85 for 120 mil of that versus what was it, $385?
$395.
$395 for the same 120 mil because I think PDM's bottles are 4 ounces or whatever.
Yeah.
As far as the volume is concerned, they're the same, but the price is astronomically different.
Huge difference. Well, I mean, I guess if you bought from directly Mancera, it's like $170, but still, that's crazy cheaper than that.
Yeah, still under 50% of what the cost would be.
Yeah. So, and I got mine for like $88 at tjmax.com or something like that. I mean, this thing definitely is trending hard, and I can see why. I don't think it's quite as loud as red tobacco, but man, it smells really close to it. I mean, really close.
Yeah. To describe to somebody, because you wear it way more than I do, to describe to somebody what you're smelling actually in this fragrance, if they haven't smelled red tobacco before, and this is the first episode they've ever listened to us, what do you feel like you're kind of picking up in the fragrance?
I mean, it's definitely... It's like a little cinnamon. I mean, it's not harsh cinnamon. It's like light, but like tobacco.
It's like a spicy, dry.
Yes.
But there's this sweet sort of boozy element to it that does give it like a syrupy sweetness.
Yes. And kind of a little bit to me, it does remind me of the original Spice Bomb a little bit, but like a little bit denser than what that one's more like crazy pepper and light, you know?
Yeah. I think that's what some of the reviews I was reading, they were saying like, I smell vanilla in this. A lot of people are saying, I smell vanilla in this, but there's no vanilla listed in the notes.
Yeah.
And it's like, who cares what the listed notes are? Go off of what you vibe out of it.
Well, I got to ask, who's wearing this?
He's about 6'2".
Okay.
He's a thick boy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, them thighs, though. Normally wearing some sort of Cowboys attire, typically a ball cap.
Oh, yeah. Cowboys country, y'all.
And he's either wearing blue jeans or gray jeans and a blue or black shirt. It's like I can almost see him right now in the room with me.
Oh, man. We
dim boys.
For any football fanatics out there for the NFL, they recently did their schedule announcements and they used the biggest Cowboy hater ever, Stephen A. Smith, the Dallas Cowboys did, and used him to do their season announcement of what games they got scheduled. That's pretty funny. Yeah, this thing... It's masculine. I love it. I really do. And I'll get to the other parts later on here in a minute, but I really do love the smell. I'm pleasantly surprised with it. It is a little bit smoother to me than red tobacco. It's not as harsh, but it's in that same vein of how that smells. It's done pretty badass, man.
John, you're not going to be happy with where we go with this skip it, sample it, buy it, I feel. But John had actually told me, oh, you should try Carlisle after he heard that we were really liking Triumph Bacchus, that you were really liking red tobacco.
Yeah.
He was like, man, you got to try Carlisle by PDM. This was months ago. Oh, yeah, we'll probably be doing an episode on that pretty soon.
Probably tomorrow.
Who knows? Probably
6 years later.
Yeah, 5-6 months later. But I think let's get into it, Ryan. Are you going to skip it?
Sample it.
Or buy it?
What are you going to do, Mike?
What are you going to do, Ryan?
Oh, okay. Reverse Uno. Okay.
Yeah.
If I had the money, God, I feel like I'd want to buy it. But for the price, man, Mancera's red tobacco is the win over this to me. I would skip this.
Yeah, I felt like that would be your answer.
They smell so close, it's ridiculous. I mean, that's why I brought up Pixel Peeping. Like, you would have to really dig deep to find the differences here. I mean, there are differences, but they're not, to me, in my opinion, they're not this stark contrast to me.
And a lot of it, too, which, by the way, depending on where you're at, this may not be the argument, but I feel like maybe you as the wearer may notice a little bit of a difference, but as far as me across the room smelling you, I'm not going to know the difference between the two. I don't think I
would either. That's why I'm like, because of that, you'd be a safer bet getting something like red tobacco by Mancera.
Yeah. So where I would go with this is, man, I hate to say it, but I feel like it's a skip for me. as well, because, and we've got to do this episode, I want to do Noir de Noir by Tom Ford, but the tobacco that I really like is in like the Noir de Noir type fragrances, or even in 2.6 Elixir, some of the tobacco type vibes that are in there. I prefer tobacco that way. This type of tobacco to me is not my favorite fragrance. And it's so weird because I do smell similarities between this and Triumph of Bacchus, but I love Triumph of Bacchus. And to me, I'm just not a huge fan of this one.
Man, I mean, I'm a fan of this, and I'm a fan of honestly all three. This, Triumph of Bacchus, Red Tobacco. I feel like this and Red Tobacco are so damn close. Like there's no point in buying this because I can get Red Tobacco so much cheaper, and it's literally the same amount. It's not a cheapy fragrance. Honestly, it smells fucking good.
Well,
it's
let me reframe. I'm not saying I hate this. I'm not saying that I don't enjoy smelling it.
Yeah.
It's not one that I'd probably reach for, especially now. It's getting hot as hell out there.
Yeah.
And this would be nauseating.
I've literally stopped wearing Red Tobacco because it's gotten so hot.
I know. We're hitting the 90s now, and it's going to be a few weeks, and we'll probably see 100.
Yeah.
So at this point, these type of fragrances that are so sweet, but also so dense, there isn't a little bit of air to it. Like to me, Spice Bomb Extreme has enough air in it that I feel like, you know, it's kind of like that frozen yogurt. There's just that added the air to it. There's a little bit of movement that happens in that fragrance, especially the extreme version, that I feel like you could still get away with in the hotter weather, but this is so thick and syrupy that, I mean, I probably wouldn't wear Argos either.
Man, yeah, I definitely wouldn't wear that now. I'd honestly, out of the three, I'd probably, if I was going to wear one in the heat, I probably would wear Carlisle because it seems a little bit lighter than Red Tobacco. But honestly, we're just splitting hairs at this point between those two. So because of that, I'm just going to stick with it. It's a skip because I can get what I want out of Red Tobacco.
It's really close. Red Tobacco to me does smell a little bit more on the cheap side.
And maybe that's what's the win, is that it is kind of got a little bit of hey, we'll just give you everything you want. That's what Sony does in their cameras. Right. We don't care if the thing's going to fucking overheat and blow up. Like, we'll give you everything you want for half the price of a fucking Canon. And I feel like that's what's happening with the Mancera. It's like, y'all like that? Well, here.
Right.
Which I think it came out before Triumph of Bacchus. I don't know if it came out before Carlisle, but I'm pretty sure on Triumph it did. But still, whatever they made, and I don't know if they were emulating some other brand's thing at the time, because that's the kind of thing where we see a lot is like, oh, that company made that, we'll make a variation, you know?
Yeah, I'm not so upset, though. Let's just say the guy at Argos said, man, I smell Carlisle, and I thought, man, I really like that, but let me give you my take on it.
Yeah.
I'm not mad about that. Now, an exact clone, I mean, we benefit from clones because we're broke. Which RXL, if you're still listening, you haven't given up on us. I did order gray flannel, and that is coming in. I had to buy just a bottle of it for whatever, $15 or whatever it was.
Yep, a big, juicy bottle,
That's
buddy.
right. Juicy bottle.
It's huge.
That's coming in. But RXL knows as much as we do that we're broke. So we're going to need the cheaper versions and the more synthetic built ones. So I think with Red Tobacco, if you do like this fragrance, it does to me smell more synthetic. I'm not saying that PDM's is all natural.
I get what you're going with.
But there's a little harshness to the Red Tobacco that I don't really care for. That isn't as strong in this, but still the vibe, they hit the vibe 100%. And I think it smells good on the dry down. I really do. I think I have a 10 mil from you. I still haven't sprayed it on me. In the future, you'll be like, hey man, if you haven't used that, can I get it back?
Yeah, I'm running low.
Exactly. But for me, it's not one that I'm just reaching to. So I think, unfortunately, as much as I love PDM, this has got to be a full stop skip.
You know what? We kind of really skipped over this part, but just like Red Tobacco and honestly like Argos, I don't know, whatever this DNA or this profile of a scent, because they're all kind of similar, this thing is loud and I can see it projecting like crazy.
100%.
We should have covered that. Our apologies, but yeah, this thing is definitely, you're going to smell it, just like Red Tobacco or Argos, and it's an enjoyable smell from a distance. I'm going to tell you, anytime he's wore Argos, I'm like, damn, that shit smells so fucking good.
I love it.
And then anytime I'm wearing Red Tobacco, it's like, oh, you wearing Red Tobacco today.
I can tell, and honestly, I get pissed when you wear Red Tobacco because it doesn't fucking matter what I wear that day. You're smelling Red Tobacco.
Yeah, it's loud.
I mean, it's so loud that if I ride in the car with you, I am now wearing Red Tobacco. tobacco.
It's like nuclear fallout.
Yeah. So if you have the money and you want to stay brand loyal, then PDM, this fragrance would be great if you love that sort of profile.
Yeah.
I think you'll enjoy it. For me, I'm not leaning towards a profile. And I think for you, financially, you're like, let's go red tobacco on this.
Red tobacco all day. TJ Maxx, $88. Oh, did I find a $10 coupon? Stack them up.
Yeah. But if money was no object, I feel like you would buy PDMs just because you admire the brand and the presentation and everything is incredible. So
I do, and it's so smooth and goddamn. Is anything better from their brand than Leighton or Greenlee? Those two are so damn good. I mean, they're so fucking good.
Well, we've still got more to choose from in my pack that I got. So I'm excited to see what we think about the rest of the line.
So there's that. We got that covered. Now we have to give some congratulatory little moment here.
Yeah.
Guys, we hit 100 reviews on Spotify.
We did. You guys did it.
Fuck, you guys are badass, man. So badass.
Yeah, I messaged. I actually tried to call you and you didn't pick up because you're an asshole. But then I messaged and said, we fucking hit 100, which is kind of a big deal because a lot of the podcasts that I listen to, they're in that 400 to 600 review range.
Yeah.
So
they're
I'm like
big podcasts.
Yeah, they got quite a following. And I'm like, hey, we're a quarter as good as them.
I mean, it really is a huge accomplishment. By all means, anybody else listening out there, if you haven't done it yet, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, leave us a review. That will help the algorithm. You guys killed it. And so I don't know what this means going forward, if it helps us out a lot, but man, super proud of you guys. I'm dead serious. Could not be more thankful. I know Mike feels the same way. Thank you guys for putting in the hard work of listening to these grueling episodes at times. Our pissy moments, our crying moments, our happy moments. You go through it all with us. You're excited to hear us. And then on top of that, you put in the work. You used your fingertips, went on somewhere, and you left us a review.
You're the best. We love you guys. We've got some fun stuff coming up, especially the final 50, as it were, are going to be some of our most heartfelt, exciting episodes that we've got lined up. Included in those, and then some outside, is that we do have friends of the podcast that sent us stuff. Cynthia being one of them, has sent us a big box of multiple bottles we can't wait to get into.
Yes.
And there's been other friends of the podcast that have sent us either samples or decants and stuff. We're getting into those too. We're not going to forget about you. This is something that really does mean the world to us. And as rocky as things can get and the ups and downs of it, we still love you guys and we love this podcast. We're still enjoying it. And so we hope to make the content where you'll enjoy it as well.
That's right. And until next time,
spray it up, y'all.